What's going on, guys? Willie here. We're back in another video, and today we're going to be talking about motion tracking, since I promised in the last one and didn't really do anything about that, so I apologize. But we're on to it now, and this beautiful sub-freezing weather. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys what my setup looks like right now, just for amusement. You guys are going to want to see this. We've got this old school ass Nikon D800 with my mic just thrown on top, not even mounted, by the way. And then we have a really cheap field monitor, which is kind of nice, like gets the job done. Yeah. But yeah, that's for posterity, just because this setup is so bad. So that's fun. But yeah, motion tracking, let's talk about it. What is motion tracking? Motion tracking is getting information, 3D points in space, really, from your video footage, and using that information to do something. Most of the time it's either to stabilize or insert something into the frame. In my case, I'm going to be inserting something into the frame. So what do you need to motion track? You need a camera, you need a computer. Computer, I got upstairs, so that's all set and good. And a camera. Preferably, it'd be nice to have a gimbal, not needed. If you've got really steady hands, you'll be good. But for our case, I've got my trusty Zhiyun Weebill S. Love this thing to death. I'm gonna go balance it, show you guys how to use it. And from there, we're gonna get the footage and we're gonna hop on the computer and I'll show you what to do. So we've moved locations over to my driveway so I can show you guys how to balance a gimbal, or in particular the Weebill S. So, first things first, you unlock all the axes so you can have this swing around freely. I have the Manfrotto slide plate already attached to my cage. So you want to do that first. Then from there, push this latch, have it lock in place. You should hear a nice little click. There we go. Press it in and screw. So as you notice, my camera is leaning forward. In this situation, what we want to do is move back this plate. This one right here. So undo the latch, push it back until the camera is just about sitting in the middle and not leaning to one side or the other, like that. That is perfect. From here, we latch it. Then do a slight adjustment as it leans forward a bit. So here, this is actually already pretty balanced, because I had it pre-balanced to the 24-70 with all my attachments on it. But you want to adjust this knob so that when you position it up and down, it stays in place like it is right now. Our roll axis right here, that is already pretty balanced. In order to adjust that, you move this right here, this latch. And last but not least, our pan axis down here. This one. That one's the hardest to get right. What you want to do for that is have your gimbal all the way out 90 degrees, like this, and see, does it stay in place? In our case, it does. So we're ready to rock and roll. Let's turn this boy on. Ready to get some footage. So now that we've got our gimbal on and we have all of our setup, everything's balanced, we're good, I'm gonna go get some footage in my driveway and around the area of me looking like an idiot, essentially going the little ninja walk, going crouching and shit. But the footage is gonna be nice and stable. So see you guys in a second. All right, just got my footage. Now let's go hop into the computer and see what we can do with it. See you guys in a second. Alrighty, we're back. We're at the computer with my super squeaky ass chair, and we're gonna hop right into it. So first things first is I shot this in 4K, so we have lots of information, and it's pretty easy. So what you do is you go to Tracker, over here, hit Track Camera. You let this thing do its thing for a little bit, and we'll just let it chill. Alright, cool. So now what we've done is we have tracked the camera. You should see these little dots on the ground. Alright? Pretty cool. Let's make these trackers just bigger for representation's sake so you can actually see them. So these little X guys, these guys are your track points. And the better the track, the more of these you'll have. So this is actually, damn, that's a pretty good track. Okay, cool. So first things first, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna find a group of them that looks pretty good. Right there, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna do create null and camera. So what this did is it created a 3D camera, but it has a kajillion keyframes of all the information we just put in. And if you were to go to 2D view, you can see how our camera flies through in 3D space as it actually did in real life. So you can see I have the pan up and then it continues forward. Pretty cool. So now what can we do with that? Let's go back here to our original layer and click on 3D camera tracker again. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna create text. This text is now tracked in 3D space. So we can rotate it on, let's say, the X direction, a little bit on the Z. Let's make it smaller. And let's raise it up off the ground. And now this text should be revealed and we fly right through it. And it doesn't have to be just text, it can be a lot of different things. For example, we can replace this with, let's create a new just solid. I'll name it element. You might know where I'm going with this. And I'm gonna apply the effect of element 3D on it. Give it a second. And looks like it did nothing. That's because I'm gonna duplicate this and I'll explain why I duplicated it in a second. I'm gonna hide it and I'm going to delete 3D camera tracker from it. But we do want that layer. I'm going to go back to element, go to custom layers, custom maps, and add that layer. We're gonna go scene setup. That should bring us our element window. And from here, we can do a lot of different things. I'm just gonna create a simple sphere, right? And I'm gonna make it reflective. Let's go back to what I had. Okay, so now we have a new object. We can move it in 3D space, just like we would anything else. And it is in our scene. We have that reflective, cool ass blue orb in 3D space. And as you can see, it's interacting with what's around it. You can see the snow off to the side, you can see the building and whatnot. That is pretty much the fundamentals of motion tracking, and the possibilities and use cases are near endless, but 3D text and 3D objects are pretty basic for it, but you can also use it to stabilize footage if you really want it. But we shot this on a gimbal, so our footage is already pretty stable. But I think that alone is really cool. The fact that you can change around position, height, location of something in a scene and just have it be there, physically there in your scene. That's the coolest thing in the world to me. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, the usual YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.